last night in my dreams, walking the streets of some old ghost town. I tried to believe in God and James Dean, but Hollywood sold out. Saw all of the saints lock up the gates I could not enter. Walked into the flames, called out your name, but there was no answer. And now I know my heart is a ghost town. My heart is a ghost town. Last night in my dreams, all the machines had been disconnected. Time was thrown out the wind, and all of my friends had been disaffected. Now I'm searching for trust in a city of rust, a city of vampires. Tonight Elvis is dead, and everyone's spread, and love is a satire. And now I know my heart is a ghost town. My heart is a ghost town. Ooh, my heart is a ghost town.
What do you think is harder for you coming from a D2, you've been out of school for 2 years already, opposed to a D1 cat that's coming out this upcoming draft, you know? What are your disadvantages opposed to them, other than the fact that they're coming fresh, you know, from college, they have film? What do you think is the disadvantage of you being out of college for 2 years and being a D2 kicker?
I think the hardest thing for anybody who's from a small school is you don't get the exposure that you maybe necessarily deserve. People don't realize the advantages they have by going to a bigger school. I didn't think so at first, but now being out of college, it's definitely better to go D1. It's definitely better to go D1 if you have that opportunity. For me, I didn't have that opportunity because I played college soccer my freshman year, so my clock already started. So for people like me who don't really have an option, all you can do is go D2, D3, or NAIA. But you know, the kids who are fresh out of college, or fresh out of high school who have the opportunity to go to D1, I mean, I would say go for sure. Go somewhere where they have put kickers in the league before. But even just going D1 period is much better. You're on TV more, you have more exposure. People actually know who your school is. Like, no one really knows who West Texas A&M University is. They think it's Texas A&M. I'm like, no, it's West Texas A&M. So I think the biggest disadvantage for me is coming from a small school, because now I'm having to build up my name being graduated from school. So I've been out of school for, this will be my second year out of school. So it's it just gets harder and harder to get your name out there for sure. So for me, that's the biggest challenge, is making sure that I still continue to do what I need to do and get my name out there as much as possible, because I feel like that I have to work 10 times harder than the kid who's fresh out of college from a D1 or someone who even went D1. I just think that I have to actually work harder than most of the kickers out there.
What do you think about January, the combine that we're going to go to? How are you preparing for it? How are you feeling? What are your thoughts on the competition that's going to be there? Because obviously it's a different coach that's hosting it, it's a different camp, so do you think the competition is still going to be the same? What are your thoughts?
For me, I'm training this year like it's my last year. Now, I'm not saying that this is my last year, but I'm training like it is my last year. I'm excited to go to the one in January because it's different, because the people who go to Coach Zonners don't necessarily go to Coach Husted's, because some of the kickers just have favoritism, which I don't understand, but I mean, I'll go to both of them. I don't really care. I'm just trying to get my name out there. For me, I mean, I have never seen anybody as competition. It doesn't matter what camp I go to, what combine I go to, it always seems like I do really well. And it's not by accident, it's because I bust my ass every day. So for me, I'm just trying to compete against myself. The only other kicker that I'm rooting for is my own brother. I could really care less about anybody else, to be honest. I just know that if I keep busting my ass like I'm supposed to, that I'll get my opportunity. I don't know if it's going to be this year. It obviously wasn't last year, it wasn't the year before. I'm hoping this year it is, but I'm excited to go to Mobile, Alabama, just because I know that all 32 teams will be there, all the coaches will be there, because it's the Reese's Senior Bowl. So for me, I'm just training like it's my last go at kicking. It's not going to be, but I'm going in that mentality of that this is my last year, so I need to make sure that I take every opportunity to go kick or weight lift or do cardio. Just try and take advantage of every opportunity that I have, especially owning a gym, because now I can work out whenever I want, I can do cardio when I want, I can kick in here when it's crappy outside, so I need to make sure that I'm just 100% going into it. I mean, we have 4 months to go, and I already feel better than I did last year, so.
Last question. So, how are you going to manage, your life, your daily routine, now that you opened up a business? How are you going to manage to, work out, kick, train, just go pedal to the metal, and still manage to run a business from 5 to 11 every day? How are you going to manage to train and stay focused? This year is going to be harder than any year for sure. I mean, I do get up in the morning, Monday through Friday at about 4:20 or 4:30 in the morning, and my day doesn't end till usually 11. Sometimes we'll get out about 10:30 at night, but it's usually 11 p.m. and then I don't probably go to bed till midnight. So during the week I only get about 4 or 4.5 hours of sleep. So for me, sleeping isn't really an option, I guess, if you want to call it that. So what I have to do is I have to be very careful. And I need to make sure that any free time that I have, like if I have an hour-and-a-half break, I need to make sure I go to WT and kick. And maybe if I have a 3-hour window at the middle of the day, that I maybe take a nap for an hour, or maybe go kick. I need to make sure that I'm doing what I need to do, because this year I feel like is the year, with how many kickers' contracts are ending, with how poorly kickers are already doing, I feel like this is the year to get a tryout. So I need to make sure I'm really on top of my stuff this year, because I can get myself in a big hole if I'm not training correctly. So far I'm doing okay, but we've only been open for 3 weeks. It's going to really be a test when I get more clients, we get more members, and my window of free time during the day gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So I just have to keep in the back of my head that I only have October, November, December, and January. So for 4 months I can go without sleep. Hopefully the gym does well enough where I can hire somebody to work the weekends, and then that way I can have the weekends off. But for right now, I mean, I'm working 7 days a week, pretty much all day, every day. Do I get tired? I mean, yeah, I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, I don't get tired, no sleep, whatever. I mean, I do get tired. I'm a human being for sure. But you have to keep in mind, no matter what you're trying to do, you have to keep in the back of your head the ultimate goal that you have. For me, obviously, it's playing in the NFL. So I would be really pissed off at myself if I started to slack off in the next couple months and January comes around for the combine and I just suck it up, when I know that I could go there and do extremely well like I've done at every other combine that I've done before. So I just have to make sure that I'm on top of my stuff.
I just have to make sure that I continue to have the good support system that I have right now currently, and I think I'll do fine. I just have to make sure that I can sacrifice for the next 4 months. 4 months is not a long time, especially if I can get into the NFL and play for X amount of years.